Hi, my name is Kasey McMahon. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about pattern recognition, art, and nanobot house cleaning services. They're all very important things. But first, I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I do. I'm a conceptual artist. I see the world in color. I work in a variety of media, ranging from tech to fashion to performance art and some other places in between. I really like to shake things up a bit through art. My general intent is to encourage people to look at the world a little differently and sometimes not take life so seriously. I do things like this, wearable art made from unusual materials. This is a brass birdcage dress, and I make all kinds of different stuff. I like design. I'm interested in abstractive stuff in the human form. This is a this is a computer built inside of a taxidermied beaver. I made the piece as part of a series exploring our diminishing relationship with nature as we become more reliant on technology. A lot of what I do is really ridiculous. I know this. I know it very well. What I'd like to talk to you tonight about is something I've been mulling over for a bit, which is the concept of pattern recognition and how it applies to art and other creative endeavors. I'm reading off my cards. I hope you guys forgive me. I'm really fascinated by what makes us tick as humans and how we process information, particularly as we're inundated with more and more of it. With a bit of an understanding about how our brains work and how we filter and categorize information, I like to think that we have the ability to apply that knowledge to creative endeavors. So what is pattern recognition? By definition, it's a machine learning and artificial intelligence concept that concentrates on systems that recognize patterns in data. Our minds delight in finding patterns. It's kind of what we do. No other habit of thought lies so deeply within the soul of a small creature trying to make sense of a complex world not constructed for it. Those were Stephen Gould's words, and I think they're very good. Through AI research, we've learned a great deal about how our brains use pattern recognition in order to process the constant stream of visual, audio, and sensory information we receive. There's a lot going on there. Think about it. Our brains are constantly scrambling to make sense of an incredible amount of really complex information and react to it in time so that we can then interact with the world without stumbling all over ourselves. We're built to, within a split second, like that, act on vast amounts of information. It's mind-boggling, literally. I'm ahead of myself, so I'm going to hold on just a second. Run, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's mind-boggling, literally. Yeah. We're pattern seekers. Our minds are just built that way. You're a pattern seeker, and you're amazing. You're constantly processing information, looking for some sort of order, and attempting to predict what's next. In fact, you're probably predicting what I'm going to say next now. Our understanding of the world is innately tied to these predictions. We unconsciously pull from a vast reservoir of learned patterns to predict our reality. You're probably going to predict what I'm going to say next. And sorry, guys. It's so slow. But I bet you didn't think I would introduce you to my neighbor, Hank. He'd like to get to know you better. He really would. So we're making constant predictions about the world and are most delighted or dismayed when something violates our sense of pattern recognition. Great art is born of breaking these patterns. So is great comedy. When something violates our expectations, like a smile from a stranger or an incredible work of art, it forces us to step back momentarily, to take notice, to recognize. My thought is that if we're able to recognize these patterns, to understand more about what we're predicting and why, that we can use that knowledge creatively. We can manipulate and play with those ideas. Through art and beauty, we can transform the way we see and interact with the world. I think playing with our environment and expectations makes the world a little more interesting. I thrive on breaking patterns, creating unexpected things, and I really believe that we're able to truly manipulate our own reality through art. Granted, we're creatures of habit. We're sort of set in our ways. But I really like to think that we're also capable of switching up our mental expectations to accommodate different ways of thinking. Innovation is born of that. I encourage you to briefly step out of your predictable mental patterning. Where would that put you? What would you see or do? Again, honestly, I kind of lied. I don't have any nanobots to help you clean your house. I really wish that I did, and I hope that somewhere, sometime we do down the line, because I could use some help. I'm sure you guys could too. Thank you for your time, and be well.